everybody, Lisa Thomas, Executive Director of BNI Melbourne North, and welcome to Network Success Northside Notables. This podcast is all about our local talent. We easily like to follow celebrities and international entrepreneurs, but there is so much talent in our local area, and this podcast is all about highlighting those people in the north side of Melbourne. So today we have Kaan Ristic from Ristic Real Estate in Epping with us, and we're going to find out a bit about his business and his journey in business. So welcome, Kaan.
Thank you, Lisa. It's good to be in the same category as celebrity.
Yes.
And local talent is nice too.
Yes. Yes. So you've been part of a family business for a long time, and that's a real estate business. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about Ristic and how it came about? And
I'd love to. It's a question I get asked often. So let's rewind the clock to 99 was when I first started real estate. I got into real estate while I was studying, doing some part-time work for my dad. But in 2003, we opened the family business from home. So we had my mum, my dad, my sister from our lounge room in 2003. So it's, that was many moons ago. And from there, we moved to an office. And 21 years later, we are a team of 14.
Wow.
And it's been a journey.
So are your parents still part of the business?
My parents, yes and no. My parents essentially retired a couple of years ago, but Dad comes into the office every now and then.
Yeah.
So me and my sister are essentially running the show, and we've built a really good culture, and this is the same culture that drew me to BNI.
So what is it like working with your sibling? Because I don't know whether I could work with my siblings, if I'm honest.
Yes, it's a question I've been asked a lot over the years, and it may be the reason why I've lost my hair. But no, no. In all seriousness, we've had our different areas within the business. So my sister specialises in trust accounting. Mum did property management. Me and Dad in sales, and we had our own areas of the business. But we're a close-knit family. So we actually, sometimes you have your family squabbles, but no, for us it was quite good.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Now you talked about building a good culture. What are some of the things that you've done to help build that culture? Because I know for smaller businesses, you start off maybe by yourself, or you might have one or two people, but then as you start to grow the team, culture is really important for the business. So what did you and your sister do to get the culture that you were looking for?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we wanted to keep as we grew, we wanted to keep that family business feel. So having the family there, those values sort of came out as we grew the team. Growing from a small to a medium-sized business, we wanted to keep that family culture alive. One of the things we implemented a few years ago was at one of our planning days, we went away with the team and we did an exercise where we set the values as a team, our company values, which is united, leaders, family, fun and growth. So the whole team contributed to those values, and that was one important part of it. And the other important part was every month we get together as a team, doesn't matter if it's sales, property management or reception, and we vote who's lived the values of the company in the previous month. So, I vote for you for the value of leadership. I vote for, Matt for the value of growth. And the winner of those votes for that month will give them a small gift voucher.
Yep.
So that's just one little part of what we do. We're always inclusive and an open, approachable type office. So a lot of team events during the year.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I love that you get feedback from everybody. So there's I think that there's nothing better than when your peers actually acknowledge, that you're doing things well, and they can identify the qualities that are important for a business to grow and be successful. So tell us about the pink. How did the pink come about?
The pink.
Because I love it. I love
Yes.
it. Yes.
Yeah, technically it's magenta, but yeah, always referred to as pink. And the pink was kind of tactical, kind of wanting to be different. When we rebranded as a boutique agency some 11 years ago, we wanted to be different and noticed. And there were a couple color choices that I went through. One was orange, one was green, one was pink. And I got into the background of colors. I researched colors. Ended up on pink or magenta, as it wasn't done in our area.
Yes.
Not the first person to go pink, but it wasn't done in our area. It was a vibrant color. And in my research and being in the business, I found that most of the business decisions, or most of the real estate decisions made in real estate, were by women. So pink is a little bit more of a feminine color.
Yes.
And so it was that was sort of, we were comfortable with that color.
Yeah. And clearly it's worked for you because the business has grown under, that sort of branding. So that's great.
Yes, thank you.
So Kaan, Ristic is a full service real estate business. And of course, we all know in the last few years, the Melbourne market has been quite changeable, or some people might say volatile. So as a business owner, how do you manage that? And if you were going to give some tips or some advice to other business owners that not necessarily in real estate, but are in a market that is changing, what sort of things would you suggest that they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we focus on the residential market, property sales and property management. And the first thing I would say is that we can't control the market. Market can go up, it can go down. So the advice that I would give is try to build your business not to be reliant on the market. And that can involve certain systems and processes you implement within the business. And of course, the other thing is it's a people business. So we need to make sure we're nurturing relationships. And regardless of what happens with the market, we always need to be nurturing those relationships and talking to people. And again, that comes back down to process.
Yeah. And how would you inspire or motivate your team if we all went through the COVID experience, but how do you keep people engaged and I suppose upbeat? Yes.
Yes, look,
about it.
Yeah, this is a great question, and it's a question. You've got motivation, you've got inspiration, but then you've got the most important one, and that's consistency. So we can be motivated, and motivation lasts a day or two. So it's really a mixture of bringing in new things, and consistency can be boring. So, but consistency is what will win at the end of the day. So little things that we do in the office. I mentioned before, we do some team events. So that could be, the team goes out for lunch, or the team goes out bowling, or the team goes out to watch a movie together. Breaks things up a little bit.
Just keep them doing fun things as well. Well, you said fun was one of your values.
Yes.
So I'm glad that comes through. There's obviously lots of real estate agents out there. So what is different about Ristic, and what is your unique selling point that makes you stand out differently from other real estate agencies?
Yeah, our point of difference, I guess, or our unique feature is very underrated, I believe, and that's simply talking to people. It's communication, and it sounds like a simple one, but so many people don't get a call back, they don't get an email back, they don't get a text message back for a long, long time. We find in real estate with our competitors. So I would say, as agents, we're all there. We all market in very similar ways. But for us, it's the efficiency of getting back to people in a timely manner, focusing on solutions, not just the problems that arise, but actually how can we solve the problem quickly and keep people happy when they arise.
And do you have a recent success story that you would like to share with everybody about something that's happened with one of your clients?
My favorite success story was a property that was owner built. So the owner had built this property 20 years ago and had some personal issues. The property was rented. It went on the market with another agent. It didn't sell. So the gentleman there, he was Italian, and he said, "Kaan, the property's cursed." And in Italian, it's Marocchio. He says, "Kaan, I've got Marocchio here." So fast forward to 108 inspections and 64 bids at the auction and achieving $306,000 above the reserve price, which was a record for the area at the time. And hugging the vendor and him crying and me saying to him, the Morocco is gone.
Yes.
So that's always stuck with me. That was a special moment, obviously on all accounts, but the emotion was there, and I love those moments.
Yeah. So, Kaan, you're a member of BNI. You are actually the president for one of our new groups, BNI Business Elite, for the last 12 months. The group has been very successful, and I'm sure it's from your contributing to your leadership. So, how is being part of BNI and the actual process of starting a group, how has that actually helped your business?
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, thank you for starting that chapter with me in Epping. That was a little bit of a journey, but very successful now. It's really, we celebrate our first birthday next week, actually, and the journey as president, I guess, has allowed me to just refine and hone the skills of, I guess, talking in front of people. I've spoken in front of people before, but it's really allowed me to lift my game, I guess you could say. So there's that.
Develop skills, we might say.
Develop skills, yeah.
Further develop skills.
Further develop the skills, and yeah, it's a very structured and I can see successful process, and this is the feedback that we're getting from members and even visitors from other chapters is that we follow the process, and it allows for a really good networking. We meet lots of new people. The visitors that visit may not necessarily join our chapter, but that doesn't mean we don't do business with them. And then we have members that want to grow their businesses. And I've found personally that, it's the return, I guess, from a monetary point of view. I've 10 times my return of investment into BNI. So, yeah, I wish I did this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I always say to people, I wish I did this 10 years ago. So, no, I'm loving it. I love the culture. And actually this morning when I was presenting, I was talking about the three families. We have the family at home, we have the work that we do, and then we have BNI. So all three families are very important. And yeah, it's having an army of advocates out there that support each other. So this has been proven, on social media or when we get referrals, that it's not just, you're not alone in business.
Yes.
So that's, I think, the most valuable.
Oh, that's great. So have you got any tips for people as far as real estate tips? Have you got anything that you'd like to share as far as looking at the market, how it is now? If people are choosing real estate agents, what are some of the things that they really need to look at? and what are some of the buzz things in the sector at the moment?
Yeah, what I'd love to talk about is the webinars that I'm doing, that I'm providing for the public. So with the stats and the investment side of things, I try to stay away from those numbers because for me, personally, my specialty is helping people sell for the best price and finding that hidden 10% in the marketplace. Of course, we do assist buyers and we do assist landlord rental provider clients manage property. But I'd love to talk about the webinars that I'm doing, and I cover how to price your property, how to market your property, and of course, how to present your property. And that's a 25 years worth of experience refined into 45-minute sessions
Yep.
that I'm offering. So I'm doing this now monthly, and I found that's of great benefit to people, just learning the process of what to do.
So you're getting people engaged and you're getting really great feedback?
Yes, we've started to get great feedback from this. This is something that we would do when called out to go on a market appraisal.
Yes.
But the webinar is, I haven't seen anyone else do this, and I just thought this is a good value added, thing to offer to people that, don't want to, they may be selling in 6 months' time or 12 months' time. And they may not necessarily want to speak to any agents or call agents. So the webinar is an easy platform to just log in, at home, maybe
Yes.
after dinner, and just watch. And if there's any questions to be asked.
Yeah. No, that's
So,
great. That's a great idea. I'm sure it will bring back lots of people to you and the business. What tips would you give budding entrepreneurs? So if we had people that were listening to the podcast that were thinking about going into business or just starting their business, what are some of the things that, being in business for so long, you would recommend for them?
two things. One is protect your energy. All the conferences I've been to over the years, all the high performers had something in common, and that was, whether listeners like this or not, was waking up early. It was having some sort of routine in the morning. It involves nutrition, it involves meditating, it could involve exercise. But essentially, that's going to set you up to give you energy. So protect your energy is number one. And number two is networking. Networking, I said it before, I wish I had joined BNI earlier, but networking is a real game changer. If you are starting a business or you're already in business and you want to strengthen your networks and have opportunities to do business, energy and networking.
Yep. So I know that you're a long distance runner and you've been out there, you said this morning, and we see the posts on social media of you running along. So you're obviously training for an event. What are you training for at the moment?
Well, I try to do something that scares me every year with the running events. The last one I did was in 21. It was the 50-kilometer ultra.
Yes.
And this year, it's actually not open yet, but this month the 100 will open up. So I'm going to hit the 100 this year in Anglesey.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that's a big one, and it's on the bucket list. So, yeah, I've already started training.
Yeah. So is there any synergies between what you do in business and what you do with your running? Because
Yeah.
running 100 Ks is pretty, that's not an ordinary person. That's an exceptional person. So congratulations for the goal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look, just like with anything in life, it's the journey.
Yeah.
So the 100 is the destination, but all the things I'd put into place leading up to that is really where, I guess, comparing it to business is the consistency, and the energy. So that's going to keep me, in check. Once you commit to something like that,
Yes.
you commit to something big like that, it kind of keeps you in check and accountable. So, that means going to bed at a certain time so you can wake up at a certain time.
Yes.
just keeping consistent and, of course, looking after the nutrition and being consistent about it.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Well, I'd like to formally congratulate you because at the moment you're the number one BNI member in BNI Melbourne North. So congratulations on your success and how you're actually using the system within your business. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
But just to finish off, what do you have a book that has inspired you or a podcast that you listen to that you would recommend for people to, if they're in their journey of business?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I picked up a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. It's an easy to read book, and that one at that time resonated with me.
Yep.
So The Magic of Thinking Big is one that I would highly recommend.
And if people wanted to contact you, Kaan, how would they do that?
I don't know many Kaan Ristics. You could Google me
Yeah.
and I'd come up. We're on Insta, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. If you type in Kaan Ristic, you'll find me.
Yes, fantastic. All right, well, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.